In Dragon Ball Super Episode 104, Dispo faced off against Frieza. Although Frieza transformed into his golden form, Dispo took the advantage when he tapped into his super maximum light speed mode, which made him even faster than before. However, as Dispo had Frieza on the ropes, Gohan interfered to help. Together, Gohan and Frieza fought back Dispo. However, both were still at a disadvantage. This is until Frieza created a cage of energy around Gohan and Dispo, and this is when Gohan had Dispo countered. However, just when Gohan was about to defeat Dispo with a final punch, Frieza's stamina ran out and the cage disappeared. And this is what allowed Dispo to escape and dodge it. However, Dispo would not win the day, as Gohan grabbed him and had Frieza fire a blast at both of them, which sent them flying out of the ring, eliminating them. In watching this scene, I couldn't help but feel disappointed. On one hand, Gohan ended up eliminating one of the top 3 most powerful fighters on Team Universe 11, and while he lost, he didn't just get thrown out like a jobber or treated as poorly as Krillin, Tien, or Piccolo. But on the other hand, this is Gohan, a character who has held greater prominence in the franchise than any of these other characters I mentioned. Gohan, who at one point in the story became the main character, was essentially defeated by a third-tier fighter who isn't even Toppo. Rather, he sacrificed himself to defeat someone in Dispo, who episodes ago was emasculated by Goku and Hit. And on top of that, Gohan was also eliminated before Android 17. Now, I like Android 17, I think he was a great villain in the future Trunks timeline, and he's been great in this tournament, but he's not as prominent a character as Gohan, and he really should have been eliminated first. But the thing to me that is the most disappointing is that this is the extent of Gohan's story in the tournament, and this seems incredibly premature given all the build that we had seen prior. At the beginning of the arc, Gohan participated in the ZEON exhibition match, where he all but won his match against Lavenda. During this match and afterward, he was heavily put over by Goku, who said that they could win the tournament if he fought alongside them. This is the point when Gohan began to train, and this is where Piccolo helped to allow Gohan to unlock his hidden potential once again and access the ultimate state. However, Piccolo stated that Gohan had even greater potential than what he had just achieved with his ultimate form. Flash forward to Dragon Ball Super Episode 90, when we witnessed the awesome fight between father and son in Goku vs. Gohan. Before their fight began, Goku asked Gohan why he didn't transform into a Super Saiyan. At this point, Gohan said, "My goal is an ultimate form that no one has ever seen before. I'm going to aim for that with a different method than you." So this exchange of dialogue was clearly placed here for a reason. This isn't just something a character would say in an offhanded comment and never be followed up on. This line, much like Whis' line about the mortal who is stronger than a god of destruction, seemed like it was clearly placed in the episode for foreshadowing purposes. In addition to this, after Gohan's impressive showing against Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Gohan is made the captain of Team Universe 7. So episode 90 seemed like it was very clearly set up for Gohan to do something big. However, once the series finally reached the Tournament of Power, all of this started to fall apart. The team basically went their own ways, and none of the key players followed his strategies, and Gohan never reached the heights of what he seemed to be built up for. Now, Gohan and Piccolo were responsible for finishing off 2 teams in Universe 10 and Universe 6, however, the final fighters of each universe were basically fodder for someone like Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza, and none of them were really built up as much as characters that Goku faced. However, it also seemed very unusual to me that in a tournament filled with new transformations, with Goku and Vegeta getting new forms, and even Kale and Caulifla getting new forms, that Gohan, the character that was foreshadowed to get a new form, didn't even have any inkling of achieving it. You would think that if they're trying to give out unique transformations and make the different Saiyan characters on par with one another, that they would have given Gohan some sort of new form or at least an extension of his ultimate form, but instead he just just fights in his base in ultimate state the entire time. It's like the writers totally forgot about this plot point that they themselves set up. So again, Gohan did get some shine during this arc, and he wasn't just thrown out like a bum. However, Gohan sacrificing himself so that he and Frieza could defeat Dispo feels like a waste of potential. Gohan could have been used for an even greater purpose than this in the tournament, which it seems like he had been set up to do. Now, Gohan didn't have to win the tournament, but seeing his story followed up with a transformation, and perhaps helping to defeat Toppo or helping to combat Jiren in some way, would have been a much better usage of his character than this. And at least here, if Gohan loses, he's defeated by a clear top-tier character in Jiren or Toppo, and his story feels like it actually went somewhere. So this episode and the way Gohan was eliminated in it, to me, is disappointing. And even more so when we think about how this could be the final arc of Super. Overall, Gohan's usage in this arc is definitely the best out of the series, as he was either jobbed out or not around during the previous arcs. However, I would have liked to see him go out on a higher note. In either case, I hope Gohan gets a strong send-off in the finale of Dragon Ball Super, as he really is an important character to the franchise. And even then, there's always the possibility of his story being continued in films or a future series. So Gohan may achieve a higher status in the future of the franchise, but in Dragon Ball Super, his overall treatment has been simply disappointing. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and enable notifications so you could see all of my content right away when it comes out.
Yeah, and you better subscribe, enable those damn notifications.